Hi everyone, welcome to our channel, the best places for you, your go-to channel for travel tips. So, are you thinking about traveling to Japan? Well, let me tell you, you're in for an amazing adventure. From the bright lights of Tokyo to the peaceful temples in Kyoto, Japan is packed with incredible places just waiting to be explored. In this video, we are going to show you the must-see spots that everyone talks about, and we'll also reveal some hidden gems that most tourists miss. So, let's jump right in. Tokyo is just mind-blowing. Seriously, there's no other city like it. It is this massive metropolis that never seems to sleep. One of the first places you have to visit is Shibuya Crossing. If you've seen pictures or movies of Japan, chances are you've seen this place. Hundreds of people cross the street in every direction at once, and it's just this beautifully organized chaos. It's one of those, whoa, I'm actually in Japan moments. From there, head over to Tokyo Tower. It looks a lot like the Eiffel Tower, but painted bright red and white. You can go up to the observation deck and the view is unreal. The city just stretches on and on forever. Another spot that's a must visit is Akihabara. If you're into anime, manga, or electronics, now this place will blow your mind. You'll find massive stores filled with the latest tech and endless anime merchandise. But Tokyo isn't all about the big famous spots. It's also a city full of surprises. Have you ever been to a robot restaurant? You've got to check it out. It's like a dinner show, but with robots, lasers, and neon lights everywhere. Tokyo is also known for its themed cafes. You can have coffee in a cafe full of cats, owls, or even go to a maid cafe where the staff dresses like characters from your favorite anime. There's just something about Tokyo that makes it feel like it's constantly evolving. One minute you're in a bustling shopping district, and the next you're walking through a quiet shrine or park. It's a place where old and new Japan collide in the best possible way. Now, let's slow things down a bit and head over to Kyoto. If Tokyo is all about modernity, Kyoto is the opposite. It's a city where you can really soak in Japan's history and culture. The temples, shrines, and traditional streets here make it feel like you've stepped back in time. One of the most iconic places you'll want to see is Kinkakuji, also known as the Golden Pavilion. And trust me, it's just as stunning as it sounds. The entire temple is covered in gold leaf, and it reflects off the pond in front of it. No picture can really do it justice. You just have to see it in person. Another must-see is the Fushimi Inari Shrine. Now this is famous for its thousands of red torii gates that create this winding path up the mountain. Walking through them feels almost magical, like you're entering a different world. Plus the views from the top are breathtaking. And if you want to experience something truly serene, head to the Arashiyama Bamboo Grove. This is a beautiful place where you can walk through towering bamboo trees. When the wind blows, it creates a soft rustling sound that's incredibly peaceful. It's one of those places where you can just slow down and take in the beauty of nature. Kyoto is also great for just wandering around. There are traditional tea houses, geisha districts, and beautiful gardens everywhere. It's the kind of place where you can feel Japan's ancient spirit. Next up, we've got Osaka. And let me tell you, if you love food, this is the place to be. Osaka is known as Japan's kitchen for a reason. The food here is out of this world, and the city itself has this fun, laid-back vibe that's totally different from Tokyo. Start your trip with a visit to Dotonbori, which is this crazy street lined with bright neon lights, giant billboards, and tons of restaurants. It's a bit like Shibuya, but with more of a foodie twist. You can grab all kinds of street food here, and trust me, you're going to want to try everything. Two dishes you absolutely have to have are takoyaki and okonomiyaki. Takoyaki are these little octopus-filled balls of dough, and they're super crispy on the outside, but soft and gooey on the inside. As for okonomiyaki, think of it as a savory pancake filled with all kinds of toppings like cabbage, meat, and seafood. You can even cook it yourself at some restaurants, which is a fun experience. After you've eaten your way through Dotonbori, check out Osaka Castle. It's a stunning piece of architecture with an interesting history. The castle is surrounded by beautiful gardens, which are especially breathtaking in spring when the cherry blossoms are in full bloom. And if you're into nightlife, Osaka has that covered too. The city's nightlife is buzzing with energy, especially in areas like Namba and Shinsaibashi. There are bars, clubs, and karaoke spots everywhere. So whether you're in the mood for a chill drink or a full-on party, you'll find something to suit your vibe. Now, let's head up north to Hokkaido. If you're into nature, this place is going to blow your mind. Hokkaido is known for its stunning landscapes, wide open spaces, and some of the best hot springs and ski resorts in the country. Start your adventure in Sapporo, Hokkaido's capital city. Sapporo is famous for its winter sports, so if you love skiing or snowboarding, this is where you want to be. But Hokkaido isn't just for winter lovers. In the summer, places like Furano and Biei come alive with color. The lavender fields in Furano are especially popular, and the sight of those endless purple fields against the backdrop of the mountains is unforgettable. You can also visit Otaru, a charming port town famous for its historic canals and glass-blowing shops. Now, if you're looking for some serious relaxation, Hokkaido's hot springs are top-notch. One of the best places to unwind is Noboribetsu, which has some of the most famous onsens, or hot springs, in Japan. There's nothing quite like soaking in a natural hot spring while surrounded by mountains and forests. Hokkaido is perfect if you want to escape the hustle and bustle of the city and reconnect with nature. So whether you're there for the snow or the flowers, it's a place that'll leave you feeling refreshed and in awe of Japan's natural beauty. Now, if you're craving a tropical getaway, Okinawa is where you need to be. It's completely different from the rest of Japan. It almost feels like a mix of Japan and Hawaii, with its beautiful beaches, warm weather, and laid-back island vibes. Okinawa is known for its crystal clear water, so if you love swimming, snorkeling, or diving, you're in for a treat. The coral reefs here are some of the best in the world, filled with vibrant marine life. One of the top spots for snorkeling is Kume Island, where you'll feel like you're swimming in an aquarium. And if you're a diver, head to Miyako Island. The underwater caves and arches are absolutely breathtaking. But Okinawa isn't just about the beaches. There's a rich history and culture that sets it apart from mainland Japan. The islands were once the Ryukyu Kingdom, and you can still see the remnants of that culture today. One place you shouldn't miss is Shuri Castle, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that was the seat of the Ryukyu Kingdom. It's a beautiful place to explore and learn about Okinawa's unique past. And speaking of unique, you have to try the local food here. Okinawan cuisine is unlike anything you'll find in other parts of Japan. Dishes like Goya Shampuru, or stir-fried bitter melon, and rafute, or slow-cooked pork belly, are staples. Oh, and don't forget to try Okinawan soba. It's not like regular soba. It's thicker and served in a rich, flavorful broth. If you're looking for relaxation mixed with culture and adventure, Okinawa's the perfect spot. It's the kind of place where you can spend your mornings exploring ancient sites and your afternoons lounging on the beach. Next, we're heading into Nara, which is just a short trip from Kyoto. Now, this city might not be as big as Tokyo or Osaka, but it's got its own unique charm, especially because of its adorable residents, the deer. Yep, you heard that right. Nara is famous for its friendly deer that roam around freely, especially in Nara Park. Now, when you visit Nara Park, you'll find yourself surrounded by deer, and they're not shy at all. You can even buy special deer crackers to feed them, and they'll politely bow to you before taking the food. It's such a fun experience, especially if you love animals. But Nara isn't just about deer. It's also home to some incredible historical sites. One of the highlights is Todai-ji Temple, which houses the Great Buddha statue, one of the largest bronze Buddha statues in the world. When you walk into the temple and see the massive statue, it is honestly awe-inspiring. The scale of it is something you can't really grasp until you're standing right in front of it. Another must-visit in Nara is Kasuga Taisha, a beautiful Shinto shrine surrounded by thousands of stone and bronze lanterns. The lanterns are lit during special festivals, and it creates this magical, otherworldly atmosphere. Even if you're not there during a festival, the shrine is still a peaceful and beautiful place to explore. Nara is the kind of place where you can spend a relaxing day surrounded by nature and history. It's a slower pace compared to the big cities, but that's what makes it such a special stop on your journey through Japan. Hiroshima is next on our list, and it's a city that holds a lot of historical significance. Now, most people know Hiroshima because of the tragic events of World War II, but today, it's a city that stands as a symbol of peace and resilience. One of the most powerful places you can visit in Hiroshima is the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park. This park is dedicated to the victims of the atomic bomb, and it's a place of reflection and remembrance. The A-bomb dome, which is one of the few buildings that remain standing after the explosion, is a stark reminder of the past. Walking through the park, you'll find the Peace Memorial Museum, which provides a deep and emotional look at the events of the day. But Hiroshima isn't just about looking back. It's also a vibrant city that has rebuilt itself in incredible ways. Just a short ferry ride away, you'll find Miyajima Island, which is home to one of the most iconic sites in Japan, the Itsukushima Shrine. This shrine is famous for its floating Torii Gate, which appears to float on the water during high tide. It's one of the most photographed places in Japan, and when you see it in person, you'll understand why. While you're on Miyajima Island, be sure to explore the hiking trails and try the local specialty, grilled oysters. If you're feeling adventurous, you can hike to the top of Mount Misen for some incredible views of the island and the surrounding sea. Hiroshima is a place that will touch your heart. It's a city of contrast, painful history, and a bright future, but it's one that will stay with you long after your trip ends. Now, let's head to Fukuoka, which is known as the gateway to the island of Kyushu. If you're someone who loves the city life but still wants a taste of traditional Japan, Fukuoka is the place to be. Now, it's got a bit of everything: modern shopping districts, ancient temples, and some of the best street food in the country. One of the first things you'll notice in Fukuoka is its bustling atmosphere. The city is known for its yatai, which are street food stalls that pop up all over the city in the evening. These yatai are a great way to experience local food in a casual setting. You can sit down at one of these stalls and enjoy dishes like ramen, tempura, and yakitori while chatting with locals. It's an awesome way to experience the local culture and fill your belly at the same time. Fukuoka is also home to some beautiful shrines like Kushida Shrine, which is right in the heart of the city. If you're lucky enough to be in Fukuoka in July, you can catch the Hakata Gion Yamakasa Festival, one of the city's biggest events. During the festival, the teams of men race through the streets carrying massive, beautifully decorated floats. The energy's electric, and the entire city gets involved in the celebrations. For those who love history, Fukuoka Castle's another great spot to visit. While only a few of the original structures remain, the castle grounds are perfect for a leisurely stroll, especially during cherry blossom season, when the park is filled with blooming sakura trees. Fukuoka might not be as well known as Tokyo or Kyoto, but it's a vibrant city with a unique mix of the old and the new, and it's definitely worth a stop on your Japan adventure. If you're a fan of winter sports or just love the idea of a cozy mountain retreat, Nagano should definitely be on your list. Located in central Japan, Nagano is known for its stunning mountain ranges, world-class ski resorts, and natural hot springs. It's a perfect spot for anyone looking to experience Japan's incredible winter landscapes. Now, first off, let's talk about skiing. Nagano hosted the 1998 Winter Olympics, so it's no surprise that it's home to some of the best ski resorts in the country. Whether you're a beginner or an expert, there's a resort for every level. Hakuba Valley is one of the most popular ski areas, offering a range of slopes and breathtaking views. Hey, speaking of hot springs, one of the coolest things to do in Nagano, even if you're not into skiing, is visiting the Jigokudani Monkey Park. Now, this is where you'll find the famous snow monkeys soaking in natural hot springs surrounded by snow. It's one of those unique experiences that you can only find in Japan. The monkeys are totally relaxed and don't mind having humans nearby, so you can get some amazing close-up shots while they chill in the warm water. If you're into history and culture, Nagano has some pretty impressive temples too. One of the most famous is Zenko-ji Temple, which dates back to the 7th century. It's one of Japan's oldest and most important temples, and the massive wooden structure is awe-inspiring. The temple is also known for its underground passage where visitors can try to find the key to paradise, which is said to grant enlightenment to those who touch it. Even if you're not visiting during winter, Nagano is beautiful year-round. In the summer, the mountains are perfect for hiking, and the countryside is dotted with traditional villages and farms. Nagano is the kind of place that feels like a hidden gem, far removed from the hustle and bustle of Japan's big cities. Whether you're skiing down its slopes or soaking in a hot spring, it's a magical place to experience. Now let's move on to Kanazawa, a city that beautifully preserves Japan's traditional culture while also offering a taste of modernity. If you ever wanted to experience what life was like in Japan centuries ago, Kanazawa is the perfect place to do just that. One of the first things you'll want to do in Kanazawa is visit Kinrokuen Garden, which is considered one of Japan's 3 most beautiful gardens. The garden dates back to the Edo period, and it's designed to be beautiful in every season. So whether you visit in spring when the cherry blossoms are in bloom, in summer when the greenery is lush, or in winter when snow covers the landscape, it's always stunning. Walking through Kinrokuen feels like stepping into a painting. Right next to the garden, you'll find Kanazawa Castle, which is another must-see. While the original castle was destroyed over the centuries, the reconstructed sections are impressive and can give you a glimpse into Japan's feudal past. The castle grounds are vast, and the views from the top are incredible. But Kanazawa isn't just about gardens and castles. The city is also home to well-preserved samurai and geisha districts. In the Nagamachi Samurai District, you can walk along narrow streets filled with traditional mud-walled houses where samurai once lived. Some of the houses are open to the public, so you can see how these elite warriors lived during the Edo period. If you're interested in Japan's geisha culture, head over to the Higashi Chaya District. This area is filled with beautifully preserved tea houses, some of which are still used for traditional geisha performances. You can even enjoy a cup of tea in one of these tea houses, surrounded by the elegance of old Japan. For art lovers, 21st Century Museum of Contemporary Art is a must visit. It's a modern space that showcases both Japanese and international artists, blending the old and the new in a city that does that so well. Kanazawa is one of those places that hasn't been overrun by tourism, so it still feels like a hidden treasure. You can wander through historic streets, visit stunning gardens, and experience a side of Japan that feels untouched by time. While we've covered some of Japan's most famous spots, let's take a moment to talk about a few hidden gems, those lesser-known places that are equally breathtaking but often overlooked by travelers. First up is Takachiho Gorge in Kyushu. Now this is a narrow gorge with towering cliffs on either side and a river running through the middle. You can rent a boat and row through the gorge, which is surrounded by lush greenery and waterfalls. It is a magical spot that feels like something out of a fantasy novel. Plus, the area is known for its mythological significance in Japanese folklore, so it's steeped in both natural beauty and cultural history. Another hidden gem is the Oki Islands, which are located off the coast of Shimane Prefecture. These islands are known for their rugged landscapes, dramatic cliffs, and crystal clear waters. It's a great place for hiking, exploring caves, and even whale watching. The Oki Islands are remote, so they don't get a lot of tourists, which makes it the perfect place to escape and enjoy Japan's untouched nature. And then there's the Kiso Valley, which is part of the ancient Nakasindo Trail, a route that once connected Tokyo and Kyoto during the Edo period. You can hike along parts of the trail, passing through traditional post towns like Sumago and Magame, which have been preserved to look just like they did centuries ago. The wooded inns, narrow streets, and surrounding forests make it feel like you've been transported back in time. If you're looking for a unique cultural experience, consider staying in a ryokan, a traditional Japanese inn. Many ryokans are located in rural areas where you can enjoy hot springs, kaiseki or multi-course meals, and rooms with tatami mats and futons. It's a beautiful way to experience Japan's hospitality and slow down from the fast pace of city life. These hidden gems offer a quieter, more intimate look at Japan. Whether you're exploring the gorge, hiking a centuries-old trail, or relaxing in a ryokan, you'll find that Japan has so much more to offer beyond its famous landmarks. Now, let's talk about one of the most exciting aspects of Japanese culture: festivals. Japan loves a good festival, and no matter when you visit, there's a good chance you'll stumble upon one. These festivals are a great way to experience local culture, traditions, and celebrations. One of the biggest and most famous festivals is the Gion Matsuri in Kyoto. It's held every July and has been celebrated for over 1,000 years. The festival is known for its massive, intricately decorated floats that are paraded through the streets. These floats are built by different neighborhoods in Kyoto, and the entire city gets involved in the celebration. If you're in Kyoto during Gion Matsuri, you're in for an unforgettable experience. Another festival that's full of energy is the Awa Odori in Tokushima. This is a dance festival held in August when thousands of people take to the streets to perform a traditional dance called the Awa dance. It's super lively and anyone can join in the dancing, making it a ton of fun for locals and tourists alike. If you're visiting Japan in winter, don't miss the Sapporo Snow Festival in Hokkaido. It's a festival where artists from all over the world come to create incredible snow and ice sculptures. Some of these sculptures are absolutely massive, and they're lit up at night, creating a magical winter wonderland. But it's not just the big festivals that are worth experiencing. There are tons of local and seasonal festivals happening all over Japan. From the cherry blossom festivals in spring to the autumn harvest festivals, there's always something to celebrate in Japan. Each festival is a chance to immerse yourself in Japanese traditions, meet locals, and see a different side of the country. Plus, festivals are usually accompanied by amazing street food, so it's a win-win. Now let's get to one of the best parts of traveling to Japan: the food. Japan's cuisine is famous worldwide, and when you're there, you'll see why. Whether you're sitting down at a fancy restaurant or grabbing a snack from a street vendor, the food in Japan is incredible. And the best part, you don't have to break the bank to eat well. Some of the best meals in Japan can be found in the most unexpected places. First off, let's talk about sushi. You can't go to Japan and not try sushi, right? Well, it's a whole different experience from what you might have had elsewhere. If you're in Tokyo, head to the Tsukiji Outer Market, where you'll find some of the freshest sushi you've ever tasted. Or if you want to splurge, you can visit a high-end sushi restaurant where the chef prepares each piece right in front of you. It's an art form, and watching the chef work is almost as satisfying as eating the sushi itself. Another dish you absolutely have to try is ramen. There are so many variations of ramen depending on where you are in Japan. In Tokyo, the ramen tends to have a soy sauce-based broth, while in Hokkaido, it's all about the miso ramen. And if you're in Kyushu, don't miss out on tonkotsu ramen, which has a rich, creamy pork broth. Ramen shops are everywhere in Japan, and many of them are small, no-frills places where you can enjoy a steaming bowl for just a few bucks. It's the ultimate comfort food, and it'll warm you up after a long day of sightseeing. Japan is also known for its kaiseki cuisine, which is a multi-course meal that focuses on seasonal ingredients. It's an elegant dining experience, and each dish is like a work of art. Kaiseki meals are often served at ryokans, or traditional inns, so it's a great way to experience fine dining while also enjoying Japan's hospitality. But don't think you need to eat fancy to have a great meal in Japan. Street food is where it's at. In Osaka, you can't miss takoyaki, crispy, doughy balls filled with octopus. They're made fresh on the street, and watching the vendors flip them in their special pans is part of the fun. Another street food you've got to try is yakitori, grilled chicken skewers seasoned with salt or tare sauce. You'll find yakitori stalls all over Japan, and they're a perfect snack or even a full meal if you order enough of them. If you're in Kyoto or other traditional areas, you'll also come across matcha-flavored everything. Ice cream, sweets, even noodles. Matcha, or powdered green tea, is a big deal in Japan, and the flavor is so unique and earthy. Make sure you try some matcha-flavored treats while you're there. And we can't forget about conveyor belt sushi. It's not only fun, but super affordable. You sit down, and the sushi comes to you on a conveyor belt. You just grab what you want as it passes by, and each plate is color-coded based on price. It's such a fun way to eat, and perfect if you're traveling with friends or family. Hey, before we wrap up, let's go over some travel tips to help make your trip to Japan as smooth as possible. Japan is a fantastic place to visit, but like any country, there are a few things that are good to know before you go. First up, let's talk about transportation. Japan's public transport system is amazing. The trains are super efficient, clean, and always on time. The Shinkansen, or bullet train, is one of the fastest ways to travel between cities, and it's an experience in itself. If you're planning to visit multiple cities, definitely consider getting a Japan Rail Pass. It's a pass for unlimited travel on JR trains, and it can save you a lot of money if you're doing long-distance travel. Within cities, the subway and bus systems are also easy to use. Most signs and announcements are in both Japanese and English, so you won't have any trouble getting around. Just remember that in Japan, people tend to stay quiet on public transport. It's considered polite to keep your voice down, and you'll notice most people are either reading, sleeping, or just quietly relaxing during their commute. Now, when it comes to cash versus credit, Japan's still very much a cash-based society. While you can use your card at most major hotels, restaurants, and stores, smaller shops, local eateries, and rural areas often only accept cash. So it's a good idea to have some yen on hand, and you'll find ATMs in convenience stores like 7-Eleven or Family Mart that accept international cards. Another thing to keep in mind is that Japan is all about respect. It's a country with a lot of traditions and social customs, and while people are generally very understanding of tourists, it's good to know a few basics. For example, when visiting a temple or shrine, make sure to be respectful. Don't take photos where it's not allowed, and follow the proper etiquette for praying. And when eating out, remember that tipping is not a thing in Japan. In fact, it can even be considered rude, so don't leave extra money on the table. If you're staying in Japan for a while, you might also want to consider renting a portable Wi-Fi device. While there are Wi-Fi spots around, having portable Wi-Fi will make it a lot easier to navigate, use translation apps, and stay connected. And here's a fun tip. Convenience stores in Japan are incredible. Whether you need a quick snack, a hot meal, or even toiletries, places like Lawson, Family Mart, and 7-Eleven have you covered. The food is surprisingly good too, with fresh bento boxes, onigiri or rice balls, and even coffee available 24/7. Finally, be prepared to do a lot of walking. Japan cities are super pedestrian friendly, and you'll find yourself exploring on foot quite a bit, especially in places like Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. Comfortable shoes are a must. Hey, that's going to bring us to the end of today's video. We hope you enjoyed exploring Japan with all of our must-see spots, hidden gems, and great pro tips for you. If you enjoyed our video, please give us a thumbs up. We would love for you to share our video with your friends and family and fellow fans of Japan who may be in your inner circle. And anyone that plans on traveling to Japan could definitely use seeing our video. Hey, we also would kindly ask for you to like and share and give a thumbs up, and also subscribe to our channel to get more great videos like this. Remember, allowing for notifications will make sure you're updated every time we have a new upload for you. Thanks for spending time with us today, and we'll catch up with you in our next video. Arigato!